Hi guys, and welcome to an Evolve Stage 2 patch update video. Now today we are going to be looking at the latest patch, the 2.05 patch, which obviously it came out yesterday with their new update, their Cataclysm update for this week, part of the Sheer Madness 5-week special that they're doing, and they're releasing new characters and new patches every week for the next 5 weeks. We are currently on week 2 of Sheer Madness. Now today I'm just going to be having a look at what changes have been made, and as you can see already, if you have a look down here in the bottom right, we have a new option. So it says Quantum Kyra, and we have a try, and there's also a buy, but obviously I already have the character, so that option's grayed out. And I have already read the patch notes, and basically it said this is here, they've added this, so it's just to give players more incentive to try out some of the new characters before they buy them. So obviously they're pushing this try before you buy thing, and obviously they're adding this to the main menu as well. Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? So let's head over to the patch notes, and we have got Cataclysm and Co-op Update 2.05. So let's have a quick read. Some of this was covered. Some of this is covered on the Sheer Madness website, but yeah, we'll just go through it anyway. Okay, so we have a new map variant, Cataclysm. Orbital Drill has taken on a whole new look and a whole new gameplay with the new map variant, Cataclysm. Now I don't know whether that means map variant. So does that mean, obviously it's a variant of the Orbital Drill map, but is Cataclysm something that can happen on the other maps? I'm not sure. Let's have a look. So we've got, during hunt matches, meteors will fall from the sky that both damage orange and heal green hunters and monsters. This map variant will show up in hunt and co-op matchmaking only. So can you, I presume you can obviously do it in, is it saying you can't go on it in training? You would have thought so. Well, we'll have to have a look, won't we? So yeah, so they're basically saying, so Orbital Drill, they have these new meteors that fall from the sky, and they are going to show up in hunt and co-op matchmaking. So the new co-op versus AI matchmaking mode. Now, roughly, I briefly mentioned this yesterday, but I wasn't entirely sure what it entailed. So basically, hunters can queue up alone or with friends or as a 4-hunter squad to fight AI monsters. So they were talking about this, so you can have more of a relaxed kind of, if you're not really, up for, properly trying, and you just want, just have a nice relax with your friends, you can play against an AI monster, which is nice. So all progression and silver key rewards can still be earned in co-op matchmaking, which is nice. So you can still earn coins. Maybe they've decreased the numbers a little bit just so it's not too overpowered. We have made numerous improvements to the AI to create a better experience when playing against AI monsters. Okay then, so they've added some better AI. They haven't been very specific with it, but maybe there is more information somebody else. Featured character, try now and buy now, which is on the main menu, which I talked about just a few moments ago. From the main menu, players will be able to select between try now and buy now buttons to give the newest characters landing in stage 2 a try, and if you like them, easily unlock them from the main menu. So it's saving people from actually having to go through the other menus to try and buy or try them. So you can just buy them immediately from the main menu, which is just a nice ease thing for people. Okay, and moving on to the tutorials. Yes, I've been meaning, I really want to play because apparently the new tutorials are really good, and apparently the voice acting is amazing. So yeah, I'm really excited to be doing that. Video should be coming tomorrow, I think. Yeah, Markov and Goliath tutorials are now required before playing multiplayer for new players, and I think that was in the original game. I think when this crossover, kind of, some people already had unlocked them, and they made it so even like myself, who had the game before, they've made them have to do the tutorials, but it wasn't a necessity. So it's nice that they've added that now. Okay, UI info overlays added to character select. After selecting a character, hitting the ability info button will give players a bit more info on the character before landing into a hunt match. Okay, so that's really quite nice, because they used to have, there was like a video and it had little videos on each of the characters, and obviously they got rid of that. I think it was, I think if you watch one of their streams, they talk about how it was just to decrease the amount of time between rounds. So that was nice. So obviously they're giving you a little bit more information, which is nice, especially for, you know, if you're new, or, you know, don't know much about the character, like Quantum Kyra. You know, it'd be nice to see what Turtle Rock have actually, what information they give you about the character. Balance changes. For a list of balance changes, please visit that link there. It'd be nice if they actually put a link, if it was actually a linky thing. But yes, we're going to head over there after, because they have some balance changes. So obviously with monsters and the hunters, see what they have changed in regards to balance. Hopefully maybe Wraith has been nerfed a little bit. And finally, bug fixes. Fix the issue with decoy lasting longer than intended. Fixed issues with abduction where it would not grab hunters when intended. Fixed an issue when observing Electro Griffin where he would T-pose, I don't know what that means, while jetpacking. Fixed an issue where Quantum Kyra's weapon radial would not properly show which type of grenade she is using. Oh, okay. Weapon read. Oh right, radial. So is that those little lights on a gun weren't displaying properly? Users can no longer get extra keys by changing their roles after they get into the character select screen. No longer extra keys by changing their roles. Oh right, so if they get the role they want and then change, you don't get extra keys, which, okay, I don't see what problem that would have made, but obviously then maybe there was an exploit there. Okay, so so obviously they fixed the decoy with Wraith, so it was lasting longer than it should. I think I had a game, I think in the was it the assault video? I think this decoy just came out of nowhere. The Wraith was miles away and it just came out of nowhere. Fixed with abduction, so there's a few Wraith fixes, so maybe there's some balances as well. Okay, then that is it for on the game itself, and now I'm going to quickly, with the magic of editing, we are going to quickly go over to their website and see what they have in store for us there. Okay, so here we are over on the Turtle Rock Studios forum, and we have found the update. All the patch notes, the more in-depth patch notes are available here. I will put a link to it in the video description below. Okay, so here, new map variant, Cataclysm. So they have added a nice little GIF file here, which is very nice, and it shows. And I did say, I think on one of my videos, I think I did say that there is a map. There was a map, obviously Orbital Drill, that did have these pools of lava anyway, but obviously they've made these more extreme. So some of this information I've just had a quick read through, and some of this information is the same as it is in the game, but a lot of it goes into more detail. So we'll try and just go over to the more important bits. So it says here, it's taken on a whole new look and a whole new gameplay with a new map variant. Okay, so this explains what goes on in Cataclysm in regards to these meteors. How do they actually work? Because we know that they come down, but how do they work? How are their mechanics? How do they affect the game? So, what goes on in Cataclysm? I hear you cry. Okay, so during hunt matches, meteors will fall from the sky that both damage and heal hunters and monsters. Okay, we know that. These meteors will leave a damage over time. Okay, so I was under the impression that if you got hit by these meteors, they leave quite a lot of damage, or you get quite a lot of healed. So meteors will leave a damage over time, orange, or heal over time effect after they explode on impact. So does that mean they have to hit you directly, or is it going to be like, can it hit the floor and you have just have to be in its area of effect? You have to be just in its radius, but it's saying effect after they explode on impact. So I was under the impression it would be just full damage, but basically, so it does it over time. So you either get, it's kind of like a poison really, so you get either poisoned over time or you get your heal over time. Okay, So these meteors will respawn randomly over the course of the match, but once a dome fight begins, the meteors frequently will increase during the dome fights to create a hectic fight between hunters and monsters. So they'll randomly respawn, but in the dome situation they'll increase, which obviously will make will make battles a lot more, which will make firefights a lot more interesting, because even if the monster's losing, if you get hit by a few meteors, you know, you could be on the lower foot again. The lower foot? What do I mean? I don't know what I mean. Yes, you'll be less, you know, you might lose the game. Okay, and this map has completely gone through new art paths to create a world that has been engulfed by hellfire. So it's had a completely new remake. The map variant will show up in Hunt and Co-op matchmaking only. Okay, so that was that. So that's Cataclysm overall. So the co-op versus AI matchmaking mode. So we know about the keys, and we know about they've improved the AI. So what's next with co-op versus AI? This is just our first step into co-op with Evolve Stage 2. As Sheer Madness continues, we'll be adding new map variations which will show up in the co-op versus AI matchmaking queue. Okay, so they'll be adding in, so there's more map variants. So obviously, like I said, they're going on this, maybe they're going to go on this route where the nature and other things are going to affect the gameplay itself. Okay, feature try and buy, we've talked about that. Tutorials are now required. So it says obviously they're required before you play on matchmaking, but if you've already played through them, you won't have to do them again, which is fair enough. Okay, now we had the AI info. So they were talking about in the game, they talked about how they're adding this new screen just to give you a bit more detail of your hunter. So after selecting your character by hitting the ability info, as it says there, it says ability details, you get this menu, and they've added a nice little picture of Blood Eagle Bucket, and obviously look, they've got there, they've added a little bit more information about each individual weapon, which is nice, and also something else that, you know, it's just nice. You have that overview of the character, and then you have more in depth of what your weapons actually do. Okay, balance changes. So these are all the balance changes. There's a fair amount if we go all the way down here, but it's always good to know. They have done in the past. They've done some pretty crazy balance changes. So it's always good to keep up to date, especially if you like a certain monster. It may not be, you know, there might be disadvantages and other things you need to take into consideration. So these are balance changes just in general. In-cap dome lockout time increased to 13 seconds from 10 seconds. I'm not entirely sure what that means. In-cap dome lockout time. I'm not entirely sure what that means. If anybody can help me with that, that would be much appreciated. So dropship timer, let's move on. Time for downing in-cap hunter increased from 15 seconds from 11. Okay, so it's obviously that has been increased for the dropship timer. Alright, so if you incapacitate a hunter as a monster, it decreases the dropship timer by 15, not 11. Okay, wildlife. So there's been quite a few nerfs to wildlife, which is quite interesting. I was surprised. I didn't think there was anything wrong with them. So Reaver health has been reduced from 25 to 50. Reaver Elite health reduced to 50 from 125. And Blitz Leopard health reduced to 100 from 154. So maybe there are some other options now rather than Reavers, rather than Striders. But Reavers only give you one, but Blitz Leopards give you a fair amount of meat. So maybe they're a new one to start directing your attacks to whilst you're running around trying to get your armor up. Okay, monsters. Let's start with Goliath. Okay, so his traversal recharge time decreased from 16 seconds. No, decreased to 16 seconds from 17 seconds. So obviously they just thought maybe he just needs a little bit. His traversal recharge is just a little bit too long, so let's decrease it by 1 second. Wraith supernova damage increased to 60, 60, 66 from 55, 55, 60.5. Okay, so we thought Wraith was overpowered before, and it doesn't seem like you would have thought something would be decreased with Wraith, if anything else. Decoy no longer lasts longer than intended. Okay, so that was a bug. They obviously mentioned that as a bug rather than a balance thing. Okay, and perks. So these are monster perk, obviously because we're still in the monster category. So they've changed a fair amount here. So leg breaker damage over time reduced to 578 from 7.5 10. Leg breaker jump height reduction reduced to 50%, 50, 70, 80 from 60, 70, 80. Okay, so obviously your starting one's is a 10% less now. Hunger feeding speed reduced to 27.5, 32.5 and 37.5 from 20, 30, 40. Savage nature climb speed increased to 6, 9, 12 from 4, 8, 12. Savage nature feed speed increased to 13, 17, 20 from 10, 15, 20. Savage nature smell range increased to 13, 17, 20 from 10, 15, 20. So we've had savage nature has been increased, and savage nature has been buffed. Leg breaker and hunting feed speed have been nerfed. Okay, fly swatter damage reduced to 8, 9, 10 from 9, 11, 13. Fly swatter flight reduction to 20, 25, 30 from 30, 35, 40. Mutated claws damage per second reduced to 13.5, 15, 90 from 13.5, 18, 22.5. Feral instinct climb speed increased to 12.5, 15, 20 from 10, 15, 20. Feral instinct's feed speed increased to 20, 30, 40 from 25, 32.5, 40. Feral instinct smell range increased to 20, 30, 40 from 25, 32.5 and 40%. Now if you checked out my monster perk analysis, basically I've put these feral instincts and savage nature, I've put them in a killing category. So basically the things that it focuses on is, killing the monsters. So obviously these have been buffed, so if you haven't been very tempted to use them before, it might be your time to just check them out again, because obviously they have been increased by probably average of 5% each-ish, 2.5 to 5. So yeah, if you want more detail on that, just have a look at that other video. I'll put a link to that as well. Okay, so slot 3, superior perks. Ground duration reduced to 1.5 from 2 meters. Evolved claw damage per second reduced to 23, 26, 30 for 28, 32, 36. Savage nature feed speed increased to 50, 55, 60 from 40, 50, 60. Okay, so the evolved claw, which was the poison perk, has obviously been nerfed because it's obviously a little bit too overpowered. Okay, so that was the monster. Hunters. Okay, Markov. Lightning gun damage per second has been reduced from 180 has been reduced from 200 to 180. Blitz Markov. Tesla gun damage per second has been increased to 140, 165, 250, 275 from 125, 150, 250 and 275. Okay. Slim, so onto medics. Heal burst incapped reduced to 300 from 330. Heal burst self hit reduced to 175. Heal burst heal other reduced to 200 from 280. Leech gun min and max spread reduced from 6 to 5. Okay, poor Slim. Slim really is really struggling as a medic at the moment, and the last thing you would have thought they would do is decrease his values. Well, poor Slim. Hank, self-shield burst amount reduced from 575 from 625. Okay, so that's quite 50. That's fair enough amount, because we've got this beam team at the moment, which includes Hank and Rogue Val, and obviously they're trying to put a stop to some of those things. Maggie, machine pistol damage reduced to 13 from 16.7. Okay, interesting. He reduced. I thought, seen as it's Maggie's only weapon, you would have thought that would have a fair amount of damage. Electric Griffin, sound spike plant delay reduced to 1 second from 1.5, so you can put them down a lot quicker. Stasis rounds climb speed modifier reduced to 25% from 35%. Stasis rounds climb speed modifier. So I presume that's how much it slows the monster. I haven't been that clear on that. Abe, stasis grenades climb speed modifier reduced to 25% from 30. So Abe and Electric Griffin do the same amount of slow to the monster. Crow, stasis gun climb speed reduced 25 from 35. You would have thought they'd keep those a bit different, because obviously they're different medals, but obviously all the weapons that slow the monster have all been decreased to the same thing, regardless of what trapper you've picked. Okay, and the perks for the hunters. Destructive force damage increased. Destructive force damage increase reduced. Okay, destructive force damage increase reduced to 1, 2, 3 from 2, 3, 4. Afterburners jetpack thrust modifier reduced to 2.5, 3.5, 4.5 from 3, 4, 5. Reduced. Yeah, reduced. And Gunslinger item swap speed reduced to 10, 20, 27.5 from 10, 20, 30. Slot 2, the major perks. Lethal force damage increase reduced to 6, 7, 8 from 7, 8, 9. Focus thrusters jetpack thrust modifier reduced to 3, 4.56 from 3, 5, 7.5. Poisonous rounds damage per second reduced to 4, 5, 6 from 5, 6, 7. Energy capacity reduced to 7.5, 11, 13.5 from 10, 13, 15. Bounty hunter item swap speed reduced to 14, 47.5, 55, 60 from 50, 60, 70. Reload speed reduced to 8, 9.5, 11 from 8, 10, 12. Okay, so there seems to be a lot of nerfs going on in regards to perks, and I thought some of these perks, the percentages, especially once you've upgraded them, I thought they'd be pretty overpowered. So obviously they've knuckled down and reduced a lot of these, which is unfortunate. Okay, extra force damage increase reduced to 6, 7, 8 from 7, 8, 9. Overthrusters jetpack thrust modifier reduced to 7, 8.5, 10 from 7.5, 10 and 12.5. Acidic rounds damage per second reduced to 9, 10, 12 from 10, 12, 14. Superior energy capacity reduced to 14, 19, 22 from 16, 20, 25. Speed loader reload modifier reduced to 10, 13, 16 from 10, 14, 18. Okay, so that was a lot of reading. Apologise for that. But obviously, if you want to check these out, they are available to you anyway. But I just thought I'd try and just read them out to you if you found that a bit more, if you found that more useful. And finally, the bug fixes, which we did already read on the game. Okay guys, so that is it for patch 2.05. If you want to check it out, I will put the link in the description like I've already mentioned. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this. I've got some more gameplay coming for you today. Hopefully it's going to be looking at this new map variant, Cataclysm, and I'm looking forward to the other map variants I've got on the way. But other than that, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you want to keep updated, follow me on Twitter at RedheadGamer16, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.